Hello, everyone. This is Gerald Celente, and we're honored today to have with us as a guest Regis Tremblay, and he's a gentleman coming to us from Crimea. And Crimea, of course, is the place that we keep hearing from the U.S. media how Russia invaded it and took it over in 2014 after the U.S. coup. Oh, we can't say that of the Ukraine government. And of course, they didn't invade it. They've been there for, since 17 something, and they had ports over there, and they had a vote in Crimea that was monitored by international observers. Over 80% of the people turned out to vote. 96% or more voted to not be a part of Ukraine. So thank you very much, Regis, for being with us today. And please tell everyone who you are and what you do.
Well, thank you for having me, Gerald. I am an American citizen. I have been living in Yalta since March of 2020, right before the thing started. And I started coming to Russia in 2016 because I was finishing a film, and it was about the possibility of thermonuclear war between the United States and Russia. And not believing the United States propaganda, I had to come to Ukraine and Russia to see for myself and to find out the truth if I could. I returned in 2018 and 2019 and decided to come here in 2020 to continue filmmaking, trying to show the United States and Western audience the truth about life in Russia, but especially in Crimea. I'm living in Yalta. And I started a podcast about 18 months ago, done 170 shows. The intention and the purpose is to counter the American and Western narrative about all things Russian, all things Crimean, and all things about this intervention of Russia into Ukraine. So in a nutshell, that's who I am, and that's what I'm doing here in the Crimea.
So you're a film producer then, is that it? Is that your career?
Well, that was my later life career. I actually started in about 2010 with a film that I made in South Korea on Jeju Island. The name of the film was The Ghosts of Jeju. It was ignored and banned in the United States because it exposed an atrocity committed by the United States military and military government in South Korea immediately after World War II, when the Koreans thought they were liberated from 35 years of Japanese occupation. There was an uprising of peasants on Jeju Island that the United States feared was a red uprising, and they wanted to show Washington that they were containing it. And some 30,000 citizens over a period of about a year were massacred under the control, organization, equipping, and managing of the United States military. So that was the first major film that I made. And then I made a film called 30 Seconds to Midnight. And it posed the existential threat to life on the planet of climate change and thermonuclear war. And I named it at the time 30 Seconds to Midnight because that's how close I thought we were. Were I to issue that film today, publish it today, I would probably say 10 seconds and counting. That's how close I think we are, either by design or most probably some kind of a misjudgment, an accident. And then I made a third documentary after coming here called Who Are These Russians and Why Do We Hate Them? It's actually a historical documentary tracing the Russophobia in the United States going back 75 or 80 years. So in a nutshell, that's who I am. That's what I'm doing, Gerald.
You know, I remember when I was a kid, I'm born in 1946, and they had us hiding under desks in case an atom bomb dropped that the Russians were going to drop. I mean, can you imagine, again, the same stupidity of when you're in an airplane, you have to wear a mask, not when you're eating or drinking, but because the virus, the coronavirus, knows when you're eating and drinking, so it doesn't enter into your mouth or nose. But after you finish eating or drinking, you got to put the mask on. And when you walk into a restaurant, you got to walk in with a mask on. But when you sit down, you don't need the mask to eat or drink because the virus doesn't go to table length. It's only up here. I'm mentioning the stupidity and arrogance and morons that rule our lives, scaring the shit out of me and other kids hiding under a desk like this. It's going to make a fucking difference if a bomb goes off and you're under a desk. And then when we got too big to get under the desk, they had us standing against the walls like this in the hallway. And they'd say, if you see a flash, don't look at it. If you see a flash, boom, you're dust in a second. These are the same people that are selling their hate and hysteria about the Russians. And no clearer example than President Joe Biden calling Vladimir Putin a war criminal. Oh, you mean he joined the Bush, Obama, Clinton war criminal club? Of all the wars that they committed? Oh, the Afghan war? Oh, we're going to get that guy Osama bin Laden dead or alive. Oh, you lied us into the Iraq war. That was fine. Saddam Hussein has weapons of mass destruction. Oh, Clinton? Every time he get caught with his pants down, bombs away over Baghdad. You know, killed over 500,000 Iraqi children under the age of 5 with the sanctions.